If you want the first of its kind dual speed winch, or you've got mates that always get stuck, the Drivetech 4x4 Dual Speed winch is for you. Yeah. So why am I so excited by this Drivetech winch in front of me? Well, like I mentioned, guys, it's the first of its kind. It's dual speed. So what does that mean exactly? Well, you're going to have both your low speed winch pull, which is going to be a really slow, controlled way of recovering yourself. You're also obviously going to have your free spool in the center here if you look at this gear selector here, and then over on this side you're going to have your high speed or your standard normal pull. Now Andy, get in nice and close, you can see there, you're going to have your high, it's going to be your free spool, and then it's low speed. Now what more is this is a seriously nice bit of kit. Obviously alloy housing, you're going to have your dynamo rope as well. You're going to have 26 meters of the good stuff as well, which is pretty impressive, and it's 9.5 mil thick. So it's really hardcore dynamo rope. That's obviously going to be keeping up with a 12,000 pound winch. Now why this is such a breeze to install and why I'm so impressed by it is Drivetech have managed to squeeze a 12,000 pound winch into the external dimensions of a 9,500 pound winch. So it's a smaller housing, smaller body, but a big winch under all of that. So it's really easy to mount just about anywhere. There's no drama. It takes up very limited space compared to the winch I pulled off my car, and it's a breeze to install. And the reason it's a breeze to install is because of all the accessories and the fitting hardware they give you. So we'll start over here. You've obviously got your control box. Now this is the brains of the winch. It can be remotely mounted, it can be mounted on top of the winch, wherever you like, on your bull bar, or you can use the bracket that Drivetech give you, which is the lovely steel bracket. It's been powder coated black and it looks really nice. Now Andy, if you come over here, you'll be able to see the threads on the side here, and they obviously line up for over the motor. This bracket's going to mount a little bit something like that. You're going to be able to mount your control box on top there, and it's going to be all in one. If you've got the space, that's the neatest way to do it. It's a really nice way of doing it. Drivetech have looked after us there. What more? We've got a beautiful fair lead as well. Obviously being rope, you don't use the traditional rollers, you just use a fair lead like this, and it's going to be a smooth surface for the rope to pull out on. You're going to have your load rated hook as well. It's going to go on the front of this eyelet here. You can throw a D-shackle in or anything like that. Now back to why this is such a breeze to install. You've got your control box, we've got an abundance of wiring, we've got also all the fitting hardware over here. So this is going to be all your high tensile bolts, nuts, spring washers, all that good stuff, including bolts for the control box. You've got a couple of different ways you can mount this particular control box as well, and they've given you hardware for all of the potentials. What more? We've got some fuses here for the electronic side of things. You've obviously got some cable coming out your ears, and Andy, this is an important one. Now, of yesteryear, the hoodlums of yesteryear used to play a little fun game with people and their winches on the front of their car. Now what they do is, because they weren't running an isolator, they would always be ready to go. They'd spool the winch out, hook it over the car, and what they'd do is they'd actually just winch it in and cut your car in half. So that's when winch battery isolators became a really popular thing. Drivetech give you this one as standard out of the box, and what this means is that when it's off, your winch has no power. So you've actually actively got to open your bonnet, turn into power, the winch will get power, and then you can use it. You might be going, well Sam, how do I use my winch? You haven't mentioned a remote. I'm glad you asked, guys, because the remote is pretty impressive. Now, this is it here. Now it's nice, it's got a kind of a silicone vibe on the outside. You've got your out, your in, and a button up the top to control it between the wired and the wireless situation. Now, why is this important? Well, everyone loves wireless stuff. The control box is basically a wireless transmitter for this particular remote, and it means that you can just run no cable. You can grab this out of your glove box, hit in, out, do whatever you need to do, and not actually have to get dirty. That's what mates are for. But worst case scenario, you've been giving it a workout because you have a Prado like Andy, and you've been using this all day long, and you go, it's out of battery. It's not to fear. They give you an extremely heavy duty long cable. Andy just plugs into the bottom just like this. Come in nice and close. In she goes, just like that. The other end straight into the control box on the side here, and you're going to be good to go. And then you've got a wired remote. It's not going to let you down, and it's not going to run out of battery. Now, of course, you've got your installation instructions too, which runs you through all of this stuff as well in terms of wiring as well and the fitting of it. But guys, I fitted one of these winches earlier this week, and it was a breeze, and it's made really easy by all the gear that Drivetech provide you. So we cannot wait to get out in the bush and test these bad boys with 4-wheel drive action next month. We're really pumped. Mate, I know it's on a Prado and you'll probably be using it a lot, but you know, we'll film it, we'll throw it up and let the people see. Guys, if you want to see this bad boy in action, us installing it, or find out any more about these products, head over to our website, www.sparesbox.com.au, or simply go over to our YouTube channel, Sparesbox, and you'll be able to find all the product reviews there.